Hello HP TouchPad users, great news! Today I'm going to show you how to fully install Android onto the HP TouchPad from scratch the easy way. Now this is the full first-timer guide, the most updated guide there is out there on the internet. Please like and subscribe to see the latest updates and refer to this guide here in either my XDA developers or RootsWiki forums. I have full install guides and full how to upgrade guides. So at the beginning of this video we're going to do a full install from scratch video, and then I'll talk a little bit after that about how to upgrade to newer versions. Alright, let's get started. Now for the sake of the video, we're going to check out the RootsWiki thread because there's less ads on the side. Now here's the general unofficial release notes. We can see that everything is working in our latest builds of Android, and we have an excellent low battery drain during sleep. There's a few flashing issues, you can check out these here, and the usual battery drain issues of the HP TouchPad. Hardware related stuff, check out fixes and information here. This is where this guide video will be, and of course underneath it, how to make an Android backup. An Android backup is a full backup of all our Android related data on the touchpad. We want to make one of these as soon as we get everything set up the way we like it, so if anything goes wrong, we simply flash back to one of these. We'll talk about it more later. Right underneath is the full how to install Android on the HP TouchPad the easy way guide. This will take you through step by step for beginners, what to do, how to do it, where to get everything. Let's get started. 1. Start by downloading and installing both Java and the Novacom software onto your PC or Mac computer. These files are required before going to the next step. Download link A here is for Java. Go to the required page, hit the big red free Java download button, agree and start to download. Run the installer. It'll automatically detect your OS. Unselect these two settings, you don't need those. And now Java is installed. Just close the page. And go to download link B. You need to get the Novacom installer. It's a universal installer, automatically detects your OS. It'll also update the drivers if they need to be. And that's it, it's all installed. 2. The Novacom software you installed will create a new folder called Palm Inc. You'll need to place the Acme installer and uninstaller files into this folder in order to be able to use them later. By default, on a PC computer, they'll be located in C, Program Files, Palm Inc. Note, Mac OS X users will have to put it into this location listed here. Download each of these files listed below. Note that these are newer versions of Acme Installer and Acme Uninstaller created by iMark90 based on the work of Green. Once you have all the files downloaded, explore your computer, the default location of C, Program Files, Palm Inc., and here will be the files that you need to place. As you can see, I've placed them all into this folder here. If these files are not correctly placed in this folder, we won't be able to do the further steps where we need to run the installer or uninstaller. 3. You now need to choose one of the following versions of Android to install. We have pre-configured download packages for you to install here. Each one has the latest software, MooBoot and Clockwork Mod. You can check them out here. Here are the various versions of Android, a nice selection for our HP TouchPad. There's a detailed description of each ROM, what's working, if there's any notes about it, like CM10 needs a little extra boot time, last official release of CyanogenMod with CM9, and the original CM7 release. Now we have the great Evervolve Android open source project builds in the packages. Big thanks to Flintman. Now these will be the latest packages. They may be different and updated. By the time you're watching this, we may have an Android 4.4 package as well. So you can check back here for the latest updates and packages as well. So let's get the latest Android open source project 4.3.1 build. Simply download it here. Big thanks to mpgrim2 for development hosting our download links. It'll be this small link, the really small link right here, none of these big ones. Once your download is complete, place it on your desktop and extract the package. Open this package up to find the CyanogenMod file. Inside this folder, you'll have 4 .zip files. MuBoot, which is the boot selection menu, ClockworkMod, which is your recovery menu. This is your latest Evervolve ROM, so the actual operating system, and the GApps package, all your Google Apps and Play Store. We now need to transfer these over to our HP TouchPad, so we need to plug it in with the USB cable. Now, the first time you do this, you may need to install drivers. Secondly, a little notification will pop up on the touchpad screen. We'll need to select USB drive mode in order to transfer files. A USB symbol in a box that looks like a touchpad will be displayed on the screen. We'll then be prompted to open up and explore the touchpad. We have to either create a new folder on our touchpad called CyanogenMod and place the 4 .zip files still zipped into that folder, or we can simply copy the entire folder directly to our touchpad, like so. Once the folder is finished transferring, confirm that it contains the 4 .zip files required to install Android. Once this is done, we're ready to close the files and disconnect the touchpad. You may want to disconnect it here from the notification. We're now ready to install Android on the HP TouchPad. Now we're going to need to reboot into WebOS recovery mode. If we're currently in WebOS, we'll do this by going to Settings, Device Info, select Reset Options, and choose Restart. Now, as soon as the screen goes dark, we're going to need to hold the volume up button. Press and hold that button, don't let go. If you've done this correctly, a big USB symbol will now be displayed on the screen. If you don't time this properly, simply reboot the device and try again. To force a reboot, you can hold down the power button and press the home button 15 times. Now that the big USB symbol is on the screen, plug the device into your computer with the USB cable. Next, we need to open up a command prompt or terminal and direct it to the location where we put the Acme installer files earlier. I'm going to show you 2 ways of doing this now. On a Windows computer, go to the Start button and do a search for CMD and press Enter. This will bring up the command prompt. Here are the commands we need to enter. We need to enter each one of these and press Enter after. We can also copy and paste it directly into the command prompt like so, and press Enter. You can copy and paste each command like so, or you can simply type it in, whatever you're more comfortable with doing. Now this is going to take us to the location where we put our Acme installer and uninstaller files. There you go. And now we're in the correct folder, the Palm Ink folder. Now there's a shortcut to opening the command prompt and entering these 3 commands. If we already have our Palm Ink folder open, we simply hold down the Shift button on our keyboard and with the mouse hit the right mouse button. This will bring up a menu that allows us to open a command window here. Hit the left mouse button on that, and this will already be in this folder, in this location, ready to input the final command. Let's bring them up here. Now we must select the right command to input based on the ROM and package we're installing. In this example, we're going to install the Evervolve Android open source project build. So we want this installer command here with the 5E extension. If you want to install CyanogenMod ROMs, use this first command here for CM7, CM9, CM10, and CM10.1. To install newer CyanogenMod versions, CM10.2 and CM11, use this installer here. If you want to completely remove Android from the HP TouchPad, run this command here and it will uninstall Android and remove your recovery as well. Note that the Mac versions of these commands don't need the exe extension at the end. Note that the Acme Installer 5 will increase the system partition to 600 megabytes. You can also use the Acme installers to flash zips located in the CM install folder. Now we're ready to copy and paste our command into the command prompt. Select the command and copy it, bring up the command prompt and paste it in. Before you press enter, make sure your touchpad is connected to your computer and in WebOS recovery mode with the big USB symbol on the screen. As soon as you're ready, press enter and the installation will begin. You'll see lines of scrolling text come up on the touchpad as Android is being installed. Please stay tuned and we're going to talk a little bit about upgrading Android. Congratulations, you've now installed Android onto the HP TouchPad and you might be wondering, well, what's next? Well, good news for you, I have how to update threads at both RootsWiki and the XDA developers. These are identical threads that will teach you how to upgrade your version of Android. The HP TouchPad is a very unique device, as even after 2.5 years when I'm making this video, it's still receiving the latest versions of Android and some new kernel updates and things like this that are being worked on. So there's exciting stuff. You can come check out the forums and see what's happening regularly. And here I teach you how to do everything in terms of upgrading your version of Android or simply updating your ROM. If you want to do a clean install here for a newer version of Android, you follow these instructions here. If you want to upgrade your current version, you follow these instructions here and do a dirty flash. Of course, I have definitions for all these terms right here by MPGrim2. Big thanks to him. Further down, you can find the latest builds of Android. Currently, we have these great Android 4.4 KitKat test builds to try out, and even one build from Flintman of the Evervault team that supports a new kernel and Android 4.4. Absolutely fantastic to see these advancements on our HP TouchPad. By the time you're watching this, this might be the current build and we may have a newer version coming. So check it out all here in the forums. And I have links to all the Android builds and the forums associated with that. You can check them all out here. Great stuff. Further down the page, there's of course the full how to install guide that we just went over. Optional patches, customizations. There's fun stuff here. New versions of Twerp and Clockwork Mod to download and test out. You can flash these through recovery. They're put together for us by iMark90. Here's his full thread about the new Acme installer and testing this and that and all sorts of things. If you want to have a little fun, here's my custom boot animations for the HP TouchPad. Just a fun selection of boot animations. You can customize your Android experience. Lots of fun stuff to check out. And of course, links to the main GApps page for the downloads, the extras, the mirrors, and of course, troubleshooting. Here's the full FAQ for the most frequently asked questions for the HP TouchPad, and troubleshooting is simply click to expand these menus, how to improve battery life, battery drain issues during sleep, all kinds of great information, tweaks, fixes, everything you could possibly need for your HP TouchPad. Simply expand these menus. And of course, we must give thanks to our talented developers, because they're really the ones who are pushing along the development of the touchpad and keeping it current for us. So perhaps donate to them by buying them a cup of coffee or a beer once in a while just to show your appreciation, and let them know we want to see development continue on the HP TouchPad. We love this tablet. Anyways, this has been the full install video. Thank you for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to see the latest updates with the HP TouchPad.